Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Skirtboards are one of those things that really intimidate a lot of young carpenters or anyone starting out, but they're not that difficult. So in this video, I'm going to do this staircase here. I'm going to show you how to lay out your skirtboards, how to find the angles and cut them. This is how I do it. It's probably a lot different than a lot of old school carpenters do it, but I think it's definitely the most efficient and best, most accurate way to do it for me. So hopefully you enjoy the video and learn something. As you go to start your skirtboards, one of the first questions you're gonna have, or things you're gonna have to decide, is how much the offset should be between the nosing of your tread and the top of the skirtboard. So real easy trick, use your level as the offset. This stabilo level is 2 3/8 wide. So all I do is lay my level across the top of the treads, then I take my pencil and mark across the top of that, and that's going to be the top of my skirtboard. Now the next thing that really intimidates a lot of people is how to find the angle of the skirtboard to make your cuts. Now, the old school method would be to drop the skirtboard in place, tack it to the wall, and then you can use your level to mark perfectly plumb, and that's going to give you a pencil line. It's not going to give you a number to cut, but you're going to be able to discern that angle using your saw or protractor, however you would do that. I've honestly never done it that way. I've always had a digital level available. So I take the easy route. I take a long level, lay it across the top of my treads. I hit the button on my digital level, set it on top, and my angle is 37. Now there are two angles that you need to know whenever you're cutting your skirtboard. One is the plumb cut, the other is the horizontal cut. The number that this level spits out, this 37 degrees, which it says right now, that is actually your plumb cut. So whenever I need to cut the vertical plumb cut, my cut angle is going to be 37 degrees. The horizontal cut, to find that number, you take 90 minus 37, and it's going to be 53 degrees on that horizontal cut, because 37 plus 53 equals 90. I believe that's called the complementary angle or supplementary angle. It's been a while since I was in geometry class, but you get the idea. Now it is a good idea, especially on single flights of stairs that'll go up straight the whole way to another level. You're gonna have skirtboards that are 16 feet plus long. So I like to chalk a line on those just to ensure that I'm running straight and I can get a more accurate angle. I've actually seen stairs that had a big old dip in them, and that'll throw everything off if you're not careful. So it's a good practice to chalk a line. For that, I like to use my Shinwa chalk line. With this Shinwa chalk line, you can just poke the end onto your pencil line. And then snap it. It's not necessary on short runs like this, but on longer runs, I definitely recommend chalking a line. At this point, we know the angle of the stairs, and I have the top of the skirtboard marked on all of these walls, representing where the top of the skirtboard will land on the wall. Now I need to figure out what my transition points are going to be. That's a little bit tricky, and it's something that is not always black and white. On this particular house, the baseboard that we're putting in this house is a flat baseboard with an eased edge on top. So that's going to make this really easy. All I want to happen is I want my skirtboards to flow into the baseboard. So to do that, I want my baseboard height as I come across here to match up with an intersecting point where my baseboard comes down. So I'm going to take this line down until it intersects with the top of my baseboard, and that is going to be the end of my skirtboard. That's going to be where I'm going to make my plumb cut. One other note, I want to make the skirtboard to baseboard transition flow as much as possible. And my skirtboard is going to be traditional 1x material, which is 3/4 of an inch thick. The baseboard in this house is 5/8 of an inch thick. So I'm actually gonna switch up the material, and I'm gonna use a 1x6 for my baseboard on this area. That way I can match up the thickness of my baseboard with the thickness of the skirtboard, and it'll sand out and it'll look like it's all one piece and flow really nicely. Now to mark this point right here where my baseboard will come across and intersect with my skirtboard, my baseboard is going to be 5.5 inches, and I want to keep it up 3/8 of an inch for carpet. So I want 5 7/8. So I'm simply going to bring my tape measure across here until I see that 5 7/8 point intersect with this plane of the skirtboard, and I'm just going to make a plumb line just like that. And that's all I need. After I've made my mark here, I need something to hook my tape measure to. So I'm going to take a 10-penny finish nail and put it on the inside of those two lines. That way I can hook my tape on this. So now I'll simply hook my tape onto that nail. My measurement is 96 3/8. I'm just going to write that here where it'll get covered up. Now I need to make a diagram of this skirtboard so that I can take it to the saw and cut. For that, I'm not a good drawer, I'm sorry. 96 3/8, that's going to represent my point from the tip here to the tip here. I know my baseboard is going to be 5.5 inches, so that's really easy. That's all I need measurement wise to cut this skirtboard. I'm going to go ahead and write up here 37 and circle it so that I know that is my angle that I'm cutting this at. Little progress update. We've got the skirts and base along this side. As you can see, I use 2 number 10 biscuits and pinch dogs to pull that joint nice and tight. That way the skirtboard flows into that base. Come around here, same thing, there's 2 biscuits and a pinch dog pulling that tight, and I'll come back and sand those later. I do want to point something out. So skirtboards like this, it's very basic and simple just to take measurements and cut those, and they should fit perfectly. Everything is perfectly lined up with the pencil lines that I initially had. It can get a little trickier though at times whenever you have a skirtboard that's coming in to a mitered section. So I wanted to show you this here. I've got this skirtboard just set in place, and it's with my marks, and I need to mark this miter. What I did is I went ahead and I cut this a little bit long, and what I'm going to do now is just take my pencil and mark that miter, because sometimes it won't be quite plumb in different things. The other situation is if I took this plane all the way down and tried to wrap this around, it would actually be too low. It would be below my 5.5 inch baseboard. So what I'm gonna have to do is actually drop it down. So I'm gonna mark right here also. And on this, I'm gonna cut down to the top of where my 5.5 inch mark is, and then bring it over. And then I can transition this all the way around and go down with this piece of baseboard. So sometimes I will set the pieces in place and mark, but not often. Alrighty, so here we go, we're all finished up. putting stair skirt boards in is never perfect. There's always weird stuff like this that you have to deal with, but this will all get carpeted and it'll be all right. Coming up here, you know, you just make the best of what you're given. This skirt board was notched over here, that way it could stay on the same plane. Continue around with the 1x6, pinch dog, biscuits. Working the way around here. Again, same level. Up, down, around. Now some guys may disagree with how I handled this up here. I also could have level cut the skirt board right here and brought this base around a few inches. You can do it either way. I do it either way. It's going to be a matter of personal preference. I kind of like this better because this is going to come off and there will be a LVT bullnose that'll get put on here, and it's going to be a lot easier for the flooring guy to undercut this and terminate that bullnose into this skirt board, I feel like. So you can do it however you want. Same thing coming around here. This was a little bit tricky down here. Drop my level down, that way I could meet the base and carry on across and down. I cannot recommend this Stabila digital level enough. It has paid for itself many times over for me, and the reason I'm big on doing skirt boards this way is because I don't have to cut a skirt board, bring it here, mark it in place, and take it back. That's adding footsteps. By just being able to mark points on the wall, take measurements, I can do all the cutting at the saw most of the time, and then just bring it and drop it in place. So it's very accurate, it's very efficient, and works really well for me. You do definitely want to make sure you make your connections with biscuits, because these connections here will break and crack. You'll have an ugly crack line if you don't do that. Another thing that I do is sand the skirt boards. A lot of times the delivery guys drag them across the truck, they get scratches and whatnot. So I always have my sander here underneath the saw. And if you use a Festool sander like this is the 150/5. It's got the 5mm stroke. So with that 5mm stroke and 120 grit sandpaper, it takes all the chatter and whatnot, gouges, scratches off of the skirt board, and just leaves a much nicer product. So that's something I recommend doing also. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick little tutorial. I've been wanting to do something on skirt boards for quite a while. See my stairs playlist. I've got a playlist on my homepage for my YouTube channel with a lot of different videos on stair construction. If you're trying to learn, there will be other helpful videos there. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.